So we're Middle Cause. I'm Casey.
I'm Christian.
A little bit about us. We're businessmen at heart.
Since way back.
We're vetted with that, degrees, all that. But we're diverse. We love everything. We do everything. Basically, the mission for the podcast is just to promote good vibes and to show men that you can go out and do things and live fearlessly, basically. And if we can't do it or haven't done it, we're going to try it for the sake of the podcast.
Right. I feel like this is a very formal intro. I don't know if to word that formal right away.
No, I agree, but the first episode has to.
Yeah, I
so now we're not formal. So there you go. That's
break it down formal.
That's the formal part. So
Right.
yeah, we just talk shit with good vibes, and we want just to
promote positivity and just like help wherever we can. Like that's the idea. Is like
we want to go out and live just so everybody else can see that everybody can do it.
Right,
Anybody can do anything. We're just going to start a podcast just to do what we can do.
Yeah, and there's always a lesson learned. Like even in like the weirdest places, like you can take something away from going to like Comic-Con over the weekend or something.
So yes, so that's actually going to be the first thing I want to talk about is
Good segue.
Yeah, great segue. So we went to Comic-Con, one of the largest. It's probably one of the largest on the East Coast. I think that probably New York. They're two different. I know they're two different entities, but there was probably 85,000 people there.
Oh, easy. Imagine like imagine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like I bet they hit 100,000.
Oh yeah, and it was packed, and it was awesome.
It was like, oh, I had a great time. That was my first time going.
Ric Flair, Chuck Norris, that was cool.
Chuck Norris.
So on the way home,
Hercules.
Kevin Sorbo, Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
Looked terrible. I feel bad for that. I like Pauly Shore.
Right.
Kinda.
You do.
Yeah. I like Pauly Shore. So that leads to we were on the way home. We drove like 2.5 hours to get there.
It was almost 3.
Yeah, and so I started thinking on the way back, and we were talking kind of about stigmas.
Right.
And how men. This is not a sexist podcast. We love women too. But
Yeah, right. I mean, this applies for anybody for the most part. The idea is just.
We just talk about men because we are men. We
Yeah.
know more about that shit. We cannot.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you I can sit and know what a woman goes through.
Oh no, not even.
So that led me to start thinking about stigmas, and how everybody's faced with a stigma.
Right.
No matter what, once in your life you have been under the circumstances of feeling a certain way, even though it's not even real.
Right.
And that's, to me, in cases, a stigma. So, like Comic-Con or anything with a man going somewhere alone, to me, that used to be.
Even like just go anywhere alone. Like the idea is like, oh, you know, like I'm like the outcast or I'm not welcome or like whatever the case may be. Like I definitely feel you.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of felt that heightened for a lot of people at Comic-Con because you would see people alone taking pictures and stuff, but as soon as you would make contact with them, just put their head down and walk away. I would see that at times and I know that demographic's a little bit different than going to a club or a party or something where people are trying to socialize. But with stigmas, like we'll say Comic-Con. So if you go somewhere alone, obviously you feel, I used to, I don't anymore, I can be honest about that. I don't have fear eating alone, doing anything small alone. So what do you feel, so mine was being alone at times, like shopping alone or stuff like that. So what are some stigmas you faced? Just for conversation's sake.
Just for conversation's sake. I mean, the lone part is definitely one of those things. Or just like, for me, is like trying something new. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it's just like, like what if this isn't for me? Like, it's one of those like don't get out of your comfort zone kind of things.
What if you fail?
Right. Yeah. Like, well, to me, it's not as much of a failure. Like, and like I'm not like an embarrassed person.
Okay, so we're thinking about this after we're doing this podcast because now we don't give a shit to fail. But
prior to all this and like us actually going out and doing stuff. But it's like, getting out of your comfort zone. Like, I don't care about to learn something new or try it on my own terms, but it's just to like say show up and like put up or shut up. Like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know that I could win this or like accomplish that. And it's like, we'll let somebody else try it and see what happens. And I don't feel like that's a good way to be either. Like,
I don't either.
Because, I mean, failure wasn't bad, and it's not like I wasn't really worried about embarrassing myself. It's just like, I don't know, like, I have high expectations of, like, whatever random thing it is I do. Like, just, like...
High expectations. That's a good thing to have, though.
Just
to think, try to be the best.
But not at the point that you let it, like, hinder you.
Cripple you.
Yeah,
exactly.
like, you can't let it hinder you in some kind of way.
So, we can sit and say you can't let it hinder you and stuff like that. So, as stigmas of being alone or maybe failing something that you're getting ready to start, or say you're going to join a gym and you're not in the greatest shape. And then that was weird for me at first.
Oh, yeah.
Because I joined a gym a couple months ago, and the first thing, it was packed. Completely packed. There were people in there, big muscle dudes. And I was alone, and I walked in, and everybody... You feel like everybody's watching.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, somebody new comes in now, you don't care. Like,
no, this is a perfect example. So, I walked in and I was like, dude, everybody's watching me do this wrong. But I went in and I just fucked up so many times that I was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore at this point. So
Right.
you start getting comfortable with that. So instead of saying just don't do it, let's talk about a little bit, and then we'll go to the next topic about how to push through those stigmas. My biggest thing about going along was like I started noticing my surroundings a little more. I started being a little more observant and noticing that half the people you encounter are doing something alone anyways.
Right. I mean, there's definitely already people out there that's doing their own thing, and most of the time, like, no offense to anybody, but most people really don't care. Like, say somebody's eating at a table by themselves, or like there's a group of people, and somebody comes up next to them and sits down at the table over. Like, they won't even notice most of the time. And I'm not, like, no offense to anybody, but it's just like unless you're like some type of celebrity that's got like an entourage that just flocks, like, you can sit wherever. Like,
so growing up though, we kind of had that, like, not celebrities, but we just always had 15.
Yeah, there was always people around. That's definitely a change, isn't it? Like,
so that's why I started feeling this. So growing up from 16 to 21 or so, I was with people every day, multiple people, 5 to 15 people, and I still am today. I still have a large group of people that hang out all the time.
But there's times, like after
but
work.
When you grow up and stuff, and you get older, you realize, well, I do have to go do this alone, or I have to go take care of this, or I have to compete in this boxing match, or I do have to race this race, and nobody's going to be there.
That's weird too. Like, that's a transition. And, like, I mean, with the stigma behind it, it's like, oh, like I'm better off doing something else or doing something I'm comfortable with. It's like, but at that point you realize, I've got a whole life to live, and, like, why am I letting, like, a little bit of worry or a little bit of anxiety, like, hold me back from doing something that, I think that I like.
Could change your life forever.
Yeah, like going to Comic-Con. Like, I wouldn't say I had a stigma about it, but I never went, and it's just like, out of the blue, it's just like, let's go to Comic-Con in the morning. Done. Like.
And at the root of that, it's a comic book convention.
Yeah.
But then you get there and then you see the most beautiful women in the world, and you're just like.
Right. Definitely didn't expect.
That ratio was crazy.
Didn't expect, like, the turnout. I mean, I expected a lot of people, but I didn't expect that many people, and I didn't expect the people that were into that stuff to be who they were. Like, all these gorgeous women, or like, these jacked dudes. It's just like
I expected like more of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expected more of, like. Growing up, it was like the nerdy crowd, like the dude with the glasses, the, like, little tiny dude, and it's just like.
And that was my 5th one. I'm kind of used to that, but it does change. It's changed since its infancy, since I've been going there.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely a different world, but so to tie this up in what we're about is to push good vibes and stuff like this. When you have those stigmas and you have those feelings like you don't want to do it, just fucking do it. And guess what? 99% of the time, something good is going to come out of it. If you go into somewhere alone or something, you're probably going to meet somebody. You're probably going to talk to somebody. You might make a friend. You might meet a girl. You might meet a guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Like we were talking about the alone stigma earlier. It's like, if you're with a group of people, say you're going, you just got to go pick up some new jeans or something. Like, you go into the store with your group, you grab what you need, you pay for it, you get out. But if you're alone, you're going to wander around and see what's going on. Find what you look for. Probably look for it, like, a little harder and actually, get into what you're buying. And then, you might strike up conversation with the cashier, with whoever the attendant is on, like, on the clock. And, like, you'll meet way more people when you're in a situation that, like, what do you got to lose? You're not in a rush with your friends, you actually pay attention, you get to talk to people. And
also, when I feel like when I'm with a group of people, I'll spend for no reason at times. If I'm with somebody, I pick up something, somebody's like, that's awesome. Or if I'm eating, I'll buy somebody's food or something. Right. So.
It's cheaper.
Economically, it's smart. Do it. Just so on that, don't have a stigma. If you feel like something's out of your comfort zone, break out of that shit and go do it.
No, I agree.
Even in business or anything with work, if you feel like something's unattainable, then just show them why you deserve it more than someone else.
Yeah, like, and just, like, the initiative is a big deal. Like, so many people have all these ideas, and, there's always going to be somebody smarter, somebody better, whatever the case may be. Yeah, let that die. But, like, the initiative, like, actually, like, putting that first step in is, like, a huge deal that so many people think, oh, well, anybody could do this. Yeah, but how many people are actually doing it?
Yeah.
Like,
anybody could start a podcast, but how many people?
Right, like, how many, like, successful podcasts do you watch daily? Like, 2?
Yeah, I follow too, but I mean, anybody can. It's just
actually. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with YouTube.
Because in our area, it's a small area. Yeah. So when we do this and we start publishing this, every single person in our city is their eyes will be here.
Right.
And they can either hate that or they can love that, but it doesn't matter because it's a brand that we love to do together.
Yeah,
we talk shit
like,
all the time, so we just said, why not record it and maybe try to help at least. I told him if one person could be helped from something we say.
Yeah, at least they can have a better day.
Or just we can entertain you.
Yeah, if you
'cause
made
we're
somebody
gonna-
laugh,
It's not
like-
going to all be about lessons. We're going to go
No,
into
no,
some
no.
cool shit here in a minute.
Yeah,
but-
well, like we were talking about the whole, and that's a good, I guess, transition. I don't know what your next topic was, but like talking about like just putting forth that first step, doing it, and like that's a huge limiting factor to most people, even though nobody wants to see that. Is like we're going to be calling for some interviews. We're going to set those up. We've never talked to any of those people on the phone or anything.
We're just calling business owners up in town and being like, hey, we really like what you're doing here. We have a barcade in town. I
Yeah.
won't drop names yet in case.
Yeah, in
wants
case
to.
somebody doesn't want to.
But we have the barcade here, and I was like, that'd be cool to have a documentary there or something. And we just started calling people, it's
Right.
like,
So we'll definitely take everybody along for that. Just like pull out the phone, try to get a hold of the right people, and like.
we're going to video all that so you guys can see us fail.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we fail, we do. If we get it, you're along for the ride. Like people will see what we do and be like,
It's
oh,
not fake. That's the main thing. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
out
like-
here, we're not experts in anything. That's
No,
not
no.
the point. But we can be your lab rats. That's what I like to say. I'm not a scientist. I'm a lab rat. I'll go test something out, short of doing something illegal or killing myself.
Right.
Like trying to do something. Like,
We'll see what the ratings are like first.
all right. So that just go push through your stigmas and get out of your comfort zone. That's
Try
what we're
something new.
literally doing right now.
Yeah, try something
This is so new to us, and it feels so good to do it.
Yep.
So-
And there's also, along with all that, like I guess to sum it all up, is like when you're meeting those new people by yourself, or when you're going to those conventions or to the gym that you haven't been to, like you're networking. No matter how you look at it, people will remember your face after a while. The more you talk to people, like you never know, like who might have like a connection at a job you're looking into, or who might know your next district manager and be good friends with them, and like that stuff goes so far people don't even think about. Like,
Oh, yeah. Or if you start your own type of brand.
yeah, or if you're starting something new and you
And
happen to
then
know like a
you
loan
might-
officer.
You might be a musician or something. We're going to put out music stuff. We're both a musician and artists and things like that. We're going to do video series and music. And just by going out, to the club the other night, we're not big club goers or anything, but we try to go out of our comfort zone every once in a while. Every single person in there was, when we walked in, I'm like, man, this is not going to be great. When I walked out, I was like, I don't want to leave, because there was everybody was, wanting to buy us a beer, wanting to hang out, wanting to talk. Not because we're popular, but because we did what we said we were going to do. We were going to go in, break stigmas, and just talk to people and be
Right.
friends.
And like,
That bank teller,
yeah,
I met a bank teller. He was cool as shit. Like we.
Yeah, he did he had a travel agency too.
Mm-hmm. And we met that and hooked that up within an hour. That was cool.
All right.
So
On
we're
the
good
next
with
one
that.
then.
What do you got over there? I got some interesting things, but mine's going to be some.
Everything's wrote on your screen like you didn't.
Okay,
forward it.
so let's go into some. The middle part will be good because I want to do some recommendation type shit because I've been really into some music lately.
All right.
So Logic dropped his new album, and it's awesome.
We listened to it on the way back from Comic Con.
Yes, Bobby Tarantino too. What do you think?
I
We
loved
listened to a good majority, probably.
Almost all of it.
We listened to
went
every
through all the
song, but we
songs,
flipped
like
through a
we
few.
played a couple, like over again.
We switched gears. We're ADD, so you got to just follow
Right,
along.
right.
And so yeah, the Bobby Tarantino. The first album was awesome.
Yeah.
Second
What
album.
was the? We'll pull up the song list here.
Well, I can tell you, my favorite was with Big Sean, and the other one with 2 Chainz. Man, those were great tracks. The intro, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that was cool. That was different.
Do you fuck with Logic? What do you mean, album Logic or mixtape Logic?
I'm really in the mood to. I don't remember how I phrased it.
All right, so that, and I know this is older, but I want to throw this out there. If you have an Xbox or PlayStation, get Friday the 13th. Dude,
I only tried that once, and I was with a group of people that sucked. Like I played online.
it's
I
killer.
didn't have the greatest time.
I'm having a good time playing with some friends. It's really fun.
I would
So,
say it's a lot more fun with friends.
Go watch Black Panther, of course. It's $1 billion movie at this
I
point.
know.
Didn't know that. That's so. That's what I kind of want to do in the middle of these is just talk about 3 things like that, just that
Is
I
it
enjoy.
like a good superhero movie in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were mad because they thought it was actually like a documentary about the Black Panthers. Like, did you see that?
Like, what part of Marvel didn't anybody understand? Like,
What would Disney bought Marvel? Why would they put out a Black Panther documentary? That would be so. Not that I care. That would just be
it's
so
not our
random.
business, but like, any commercial ever shows like superheroes doing like crazy stuff.
Mhm.
In the title, like, there's a logo of like a superhero helmet, which I guess could be related to whatever. And then like the big red Marvel badge is usually a good sign. Oh, they've only did everything superhero since like the idea of superheroes.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm really looking forward to this like historical lesson about the Black Panthers.
Mhm. I mean, I would watch that, but I know that it ain't Marvel.
Right.
You know? So yeah, so those are just 3 quick recommendations. Go listen to Logic. Go watch Black Panther, and go play Friday the 13th. That's your weekly dose of that shit. And
There, that's, the weekly recommendations.
Yeah, we won't talk about that anymore. But that's just what I've really been loving lately. And we're talking about spreading some positive energy. Those 3 things will get you there. Like Black Panther, the solidarity, the independence. I mean, it's crazy. Like that's good. And always Logic, dude. I mean, he came from, you know. So I want to do this too. we're huge science fans, science buffs. I've seen an alien. You'll see that. I actually got video footage of that shit. Nobody believes me, but we'll put that on our Instagram.
Oh, that's some clickbait right there.
It's not clickbait. Follow me and on Instagram, and I have a video and I have a photo. And I'll show you. Also, pictures of Bigfoot. Nobody believes me. It's on my old computer. So.
Cody doesn't count.
Yeah, Cody does count. He's gonna be a guest on here too.
We'll definitely get him in here.
So let's go through some articles I've been reading today. You want to do that?
All
right. So the NCAA bracket's out.
What are you thinking?
Well, I don't really care because this is what I'm thinking. We're in West Virginia, of course, if you
Right.
know that now, in Huntington, West Virginia.
Yeah.
So Marshall plays the first round. They got in. WVU plays the first round. So, of course, they both got in.
Yeah.
But if they win, they play each other immediately in California. That is so shitty. They did that to us.
I mean, that could be epic though. They got a trip to California. Like, if you're on the basketball team.
Yeah, but you want
like,
that at the end, like.
I mean, I get that, but how cool would it be to be like, oh, you know, like. But I mean, the rivalry there is weird.
Yeah, it's going to be great. This place is going to go to hell. I can't wait. We're going to live stream that.
Yeah, that weekend will be crazy.
It's this weekend.
This weekend?
So that we're doing our episode Saturday night. We'll live stream it.
Oh, we're going out Saturday night.
Yeah, we're live streaming that. This place will be a zoo. Which, let's fingers crossed they play each other. Richard Sherman from the Seahawks, after his insane meltdown on Michael Crabtree and the 49ers, he's going to the 49ers. So that's pretty
And I
ironic.
don't think anybody forgot.
No, I don't either. So that goes back to the vibe part. So how to treat people.
Right, yeah.
You never know how you need to treat an individual.
Life's tricky. Like, it turns. There's turns.
A person that you think you will never need in your entire life, and I'm not saying use people, but treat them the right way because
What are you doing?
my thing's going to die, so I'm just bringing this up. So someone you might never think you'll need in the entire world will be the main person that helps you do something. How many times does that happen to you?
It does. Especially in jobs, you're like, oh no, like I can't stand that person. Then the next thing you know, you're like, man, I really need that person to do like this and this so I can get my work done. It's like, I really don't want to talk to them now. Like, you never know when something like that's gonna happen, or just like the most random stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be work related or sport related. Like,
no, and you don't have to do anything to get you by. But
yeah, like,
I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, and we kind of seen this the other night when we went out because we saw a lot of people. First, giving us weird looks and stuff like that. But at the end of the night, you saw how good they were. You might just meet somebody and then go have a flat tire. You know,
right.
I've seen that happen a million times.
And that person you pissed off could just drive right by.
And I'm not saying treat everybody like a king because
no, I mean just
until they give you respect, don't give them respect. Fuck that. But
just be genuine, like be yourself. Like,
yeah, always.
You don't have to be a douche. Like, so many people think that, oh, you know, like I'm gonna go out like be a douche and everybody's gonna think I'm cool. Like, that's not how the world is. Like, that's this weird club mentality that people think if like, you know, they're these assholes that people will respect them. Fuck that. Like,
that's in sports too. It's in racing, motocross, everything we do, hunting. If you can shoot somebody, I mean, you shoot better than I'm.
If you can shoot somebody.
You can shoot somebody. All right, this day in science. A fisherman in Siberia made a grim discovery yesterday. Well, this is actually a couple days ago, March 8th. While walking near the icy Amur, if I say that right, river, 27 pairs of human hands severed at the wrist and stuffed into a bag. Russian authorities said the hands were likely disposed of by a local forensic lab, hoping that, but bucking proper protocol.
No.
I'm not going to Siberia.
No, that's not how that works. Like,
Sorry,
you can't just like brush that under the rug. Oh no, that was a lab.
Pairs?
Yeah, like a scientific lab. Like, even if it's a morgue, like, you don't chop hands off.
Why? I mean, even if they're running tests.
Yeah, like autopsies and stuff. You're not cutting somebody's like at the wrist. Like, you're not just chopping hands off and like putting them in a bag.
To me, that's like serial killerish shit.
But like to brush that under the rug and like having authorities be like, oh no, this is how.
Oh, they gave up on it like as soon as they found it. Assuming from this article, I'm not talking about the Siberian government. I don't know, but
no, that's not how that's going. Like, there's something there.
Imagine finding that.
Oh, that'd be weird.
You want to check that camera real quick, and we'll keep talking about it. All right. The next thing.
You don't even want to sit down?
You can thank your immune system for many things, such as preventing your body from turning into an alien fungus or permitting you to live outside of a plastic bubble. You can also thank your immune system for keeping your dope new shoulder tattoo from flaking off with the dead skin cells you lose every day. According to a team of French immunologists who tattooed the tails of mice, the tattoos help heal with the immune system. There's added benefits to that. So what I'm basically saying, I'm not a doctor, so nobody listen to my advice.
No, but this is just.
But in a paper
interesting
published,
stuff.
the researchers determined the tattoo pigment is held in the dermis, of course, by a single type of white blood cell known as macrophage. These immune response cells swarm to the side of a new tattoo when the needle punctures your skin, gobbling up ink pigments that they deem to be foreign invaders before settling into the dermis until they die. According to the paper, that's when an effective extracurricular recycling program kicks into gear and keeps your tattoo permanent. So really, you're just like Wolverine in yourself as soon as you get a tattoo. You're becoming stronger.
Right, but the weird part of that is like normally that cell would have the ink and then would die out, but it's like no, we gotta keep it going, and it just keeps cycling through before it.
And
like,
then you shit the ink out. Seriously.
That's weird.
Or pee.
I get out the fun.
That's crazy.
Or pee.
I think that's weird to me.
No, that's cool though. Like, dude, it is just crazy to think like the whole like regeneration thing. It's like I've broken 10 plus bones at this point, and the idea of like my hand could touch my elbow and now it's back in one piece. Like that's crazy.
I was with you the first time you broke your arm, and the second. The door and the motorcycle.
No, it was basketball. You were there too.
I don't know. You was probably a big blur to you. Alright. This is the last thing I want to talk about with the news.
Alright, finishing up the news.
This shit's interesting to me.
I feel like some of my best news articles are the ones my phone recommends.
I have a whole list here, but the reason I'm not just reading straight from my list is because I don't want to say false information.
Right.
So, the tariffs. Have you been reading anything about this?
Yeah.
Alright, so Trump's imposing tariffs on $60 billion of Chinese goods. So that's going to be steel, metals, things like that, alloys.
Right.
So, obviously, what that means is they're trying to keep jobs in the United States. It's a good thing.
Yeah. I think I've heard a little bit about that, but I haven't looked into it enough.
So the reason I brought this up though is, and this is all, as far as fake news goes, this could be fake news, but I've been reading this on a lot of things, a lot of sources. So Harley Davidson closes a Wisconsin factory to move production to Thailand due to new steel tariffs. And if that's the case, that's a heartbreaker. And I'm not talking bad about Harley Davidson, but that is the
goes
most
against everything
they do. They're the American brand. So like I said, I'm on Snopes at this point, and it said it's most likely false. However, there are talks of them doing that, and if that happens to me,
what they're going to do though to continue, like any smart business in their position, like say they do it, what they're going to do is they'll go over to wherever, open a factory and build motorcycles, but they're not going to be fully built because you can't ship it over in like a license. There's a lot of importation stuff there, but they'll just start shipping stuff over like half completed and it'll be assembled in America.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I think is a sneaky ass way to do that. I mean,
there's so many brands that are like made in
I
America.
know it's done now. It's done everywhere, but if we're trying to keep jobs here, and I'm not saying I don't care. I don't have racism towards anybody or ideologyism or whatever. I don't care what you believe in or where you're from. However, I do ride motorcycles. We race. We do everything like that. And the heart of Harley is the American brand. So, to me, I won't care. I'll still ride mine and still buy my other ones. But to me, I think they'll lose because we're in a crazy time right now.
If it gets out, that'll be a huge deal. But if they play it under the rug and just start having factories to build engine blocks and all the stuff overseas that they need and just bring it back over, it'll still be a Harley plant. Who's over there? It's not going to be Americans, but the idea is they're still importing all that stuff.
But we can look to the back of that through a business mindset.
Yeah, but other people
are
going to be like, oh, Harley.
Because I do ride Harley. I love my motorcycles. I love my friends who have motorcycles. But let's take a look and I won't even say my friends. Most of my
It's
friends,
the average Harley rider.
most of my friends know exactly what they're getting into with their bikes, what they're paying for. They know more than the bikes than I do about them and everything. But I'm talking about the typical
Oh yeah, the average Harley rider.
60-year-old guy who just bought his Harley to be an American. Those guys, they'll lose a lot of those people because, you know, they voted for Trump. They have.
At the same time, maybe. Because, like, look at Ford. Ford does, like, most of their actual, like, production and stuff out of the country now.
But I think Harley's such like a,
Oh,
like, it's like the only, it's like, but it's the only
Yeah,
motorcycle
yeah.
brand. Like the only. It ain't like
I mean,
Ford, Chevy,
Triumph.
Yeah, in Indian and all that. But
Yeah, I mean, they came back. Like, yeah, they died. It's not been like Harley's, you know, like long-lasting
that's what I'm
legacies, but
saying.
they came back.
So it's not like you have a choice to just go like, oh, I like this
I
Harley.
would say that Harley's going to try to play it off and say it's still American, but Triumph and Indian are going to have a field day with that, and they're going to bring in so many new customers.
Indian will take a lot of good things from that. So what we'll do, I'd like to follow up on that next week.
Oh yeah, we'll keep you guys posted because.
I mean, you guys might not even care about that, but to me, that means
yeah.
a
I
lot.
mean, you could care about business
It
or
cares about business,
motorcycles.
motorcycles, the president, tariffs,
everything American
jobs.
stuff.
So yeah, we can
Yeah,
do that.
we can encompass a big deal there, but yeah, I feel like the other American bikes are gonna like have a field day with that.
I would like to fact check Triumph. Is that American? Fully American? Are you sure? We don't.
Good thing we got the internet here.
Yeah, I don't know. I can look that up. I know Indian is. It started. I know that. Right after, I believe, like one of the wars. I don't know.
I was so wrong about Triumph.
I don't think it is it?
It's British.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I thought there was another one. There's Indian. I think that's where Triumph was. Wow, that makes me look like an idiot. I don't really care. See, look.
We're failing.
We're learning new things together, guys. And I'm just saying that to make myself feel better. Polaris owns Indian, and they are produced in Iowa.
I knew Indian was. So we'll see there. So, do you have anything else before we go? I got one last thing, but it's going to tie everything together.
Yeah, because you already got like my couple topics on your list of like in order. So that leaves. We already talked more or less about why we're doing the podcast, spreading good vibes.
And we're not saying that leaves like a chore. We're wanting to talk. We're just kind of getting used to the format and used to everything here. So you know what I mean.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah. So what's next?
All right. So to tie everything together, you can have stigmas. You can love. Obviously, we just touched on very very brief things here. But you can have everything, you can love everything, you can do everything, you can spread positive vibes, you can ride motorcycles, you can hate motorcycles, you can love sports, you can hate it, you can love rap, hate it, whatever, I don't care, country. But how do you do anything or all of those things and not get burnt out?
Right.
That's the biggest thing because we have been trying to get this show in production a lot shorter than most people,
I was
but
gonna say we actually have. Came up really
we've
quick.
had 10-hour days where we
Oh.
lose footage.
Yeah, that did suck.
We
We had a Comic-Con episode before we just talked about Comic-Con, and then some camera difficulties and some lighting issues. That's fixed now. Everything's a little bit more professional. We even got our logo behind us, and that's pretty sweet. I'm proud of that. But when it comes to not getting burnt out on stuff, like...
Show them the shirt real quick.
Alright, yeah, shameless plug here. We are working on some apparel to go with our brand, and this is design number 1.
That's the good
I like
black.
it.
That's what I've been into. The other one's like that, but black on white. So
Yeah, the other one's a white shirt with a black logo.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, you go to the Instagram.
Yeah, this will be on Instagram sooner or later. These aren't final yet. We're still going over some of the details, but I like how that came out. Like, it's
Also
got like a
Facebook.
texture to it. Yeah,
We'll
that'll be
get
on
on
Instagram, Facebook, all those other places that people put stuff.
MySpace.
Yeah, we'll have MySpace, Twitter.
What was that one? Like, remember back in the day, you had like a little blog thing?
Oh, what, a Tumblr?
No, it was way before that. Like My Page or something.
Oh, there's like blog spots or whatever. Like
I can't remember the name of it.
those individual that you had to like
Yeah.
that big string of like.
Hey, so Stephanie was here.
Right. I mean, people still do stuff like that. There's like
No,
those,
I get the blogging stuff, but that was
No,
so
like
archaic.
the ask me something, and then there's like a separate page that it's like go to this. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't want people to randomly tell me shit. If you have constructive feedback, come and tell me. Like, that'll help me.
Right, like don't be anonymous and ask me something. Well, I don't care, honestly.
Fuck it, I don't care either, but...
We're gonna have them next episode. It's like, yeah, ask the Minicon stuff in our, like, whatever that page is called.
That is something, too, before we get into this huge topic of burnout. If you guys have ideas, or if you guys, like we're talking about, just getting out of your comfort zone, if it's something you really just don't want to do and you want us to go try it, just tell us. We'll do it.
We're definitely, like, we're super open to criticism. Let us know. Like, we look forward to the feedback and finding out, like, what works and what doesn't. Like, obviously, we're still getting the format ironed out, but I feel like we got a pretty good start. And, like, a light bulb just went off and just talking about the burnout thing, and, like, a good Instagram post of, like,
Bro, I thought you were talking about in this house. I was
No,
I was like, how the fuck do you know that?
No.
You have
It's
a
like
superpower?
I do, but not like a light one off. You're like, yeah, how to not get burnt out. That would make such a cool like cover photo for this episode of like the burnouts with the motorcycles and us taking pictures. That would be cool.
Burnouts on light bulbs, and I'll fall and cut myself. I'm kidding.
But yeah, how to not get burnt out. So the biggest thing is like, in a situation like this, do what you love.
When you were talking about, like, even if one person wants us to go try something, we will fucking live stream for you. Like,
Yeah,
we'll
and I
go
mean,
do it.
if it's something good, like we'll probably make it into an episode and talk about it and have some footage. If
That's what
not,
I'm saying. But if it don't have to be voted on or anything. One person
like
can.
we're not gonna set up polls because I've never been a poll person.
Yes, you have.
But no, we'll definitely try just about anything.
Yeah, don't be sending me no shit. I ain't going. You know what I mean.
But,
I'm talking like if you're scared to shoot a gun, we'll go live stream at the range.
Yeah, we'll
if you're
probably
scared
do
to
that
shoot
anyway.
bows
Sunday
or
gun day.
race Harleys or Sundays.
our gun days.
Sunday usually will be gun day for us, at least for a couple hours, because we got a lot going on those days. But we can squeeze in a morning and start live streaming and actually just record. I would like to set up, maybe do a podcast out there and video. I mean, it'd be tough, but with the sounds,
tricky.
well, it just depends on how busy it is. My cousin actually owns a gun shop right here in town, so if you guys ever want a review on a gun, that'd be a great documentary series. What?
Think about it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Tell me.
On to the
No, what's going on?
No.
I'm so confused.
No, you don't. Okay, who's your
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll figure that out.
But anyway.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so confused.
I didn't know you were trying to get. So
Anyway. So there's gonna be some editing and on to the next
no,
one.
there's not. This is how it rolls, baby.
Alright, yeah, that's whatever. He's gonna be our like #1 subscriber.
Yeah, but who cares? That
Nah.
would be a good series. Nobody said anything about nothing like that.
No, anyway, I don't care. I got bigger guns.
No, you don't. He owns the fucking chain.
You're right.
No, so yeah, if you got anything, man, just tell us. We'll go. We're not slaves, but we'll not like.
We'll try. Like, well, I mean, like, you know, like we'll take it serious. As in, point being, if somebody says something stupid, like everybody has trolls. Everybody has like those people that just like to, you know, stir stuff up, whatever.
I don't want to get copyrighted.
Right. But I mean, if it's something genuine, like somebody actually is like genuine, is like, oh, you know, like I'm not a fan of going to a skate park. We'll make that happen.
We'll try it.
Right?
Back in the day, I'd rather not like rollerblades, nothing. Give us something.
Nailed it.
Give us some hard things to try, like not like ride a scooter downstairs or something, which would be terrifyingly hard.
Boosted.
Oh god. All right, so
But,
back
to
the series.
the burnout, the series. Wait, series.
Serious.
Oh, yeah, serious. Like, so as to not get burnt out, like, #1 is like definitely, you know, you'll find something that you're into, and it doesn't become work at that point. So like, it's really tough to get burnt out on something you love. Like, it's possible, and you know, everybody needs to take that like that little breather, like get away from it, like, regardless of what it is. Like, you'll take that time and be like, you know, look from a fresh perspective and come back in. And, you know, whether it's music or art or
A relationship.
a relationship,
A
yeah,
friendship. Your
like-
family. If you live with your family, I mean, anything like
oh
that.
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I mean.
But like, you definitely got to give yourself a little bit of space, and I don't mean that as like, oh, like, you know, like dip out on your family, leave your relationship, anything like that. No, just like get some you time to where you can take a look and like, you know, take a step back and look at what's going on, and you'll remember why you appreciate it, or you know why that was good for you and things like that. When it's music, like it's super easy to get writer's block. Like how many times have we been making beats and just like
With music, it's one thing because it's so Like you compare yourself to so many great people.
Right, and you're
I
just
don't think
and you dive in, like you're not like just dabbling, like you're
Yeah,
already
I don't
immersed.
think that there's a such thing as a bad musician. I've always said that
Right? Everybody's different.
because you write something that I don't like doesn't make you bad, or
Right.
vice versa. I mean, I can listen to anything from folk to trap music, and you know that. I do it all the time.
Yep.
So to touch back with like relationships and friendships, then we'll kind of get into work and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So let's do the person people aspect first. So when it comes to family or relationships, I've been in some really long ones. Trust me, I know
Yep.
all about that.
Yeah, they're stressful.
So the thing is to understand that even though you're living and working and cohabiting with another human, you still deserve things for you. I'm not saying take all your paycheck and go buy
A boat.
a boat or something, which, I mean, if you want to do that, I don't care.
Yeah,
But
that would be cool.
but you still get, like, even if you guys are together every day, you can go spend some time alone. You can go do what you want to do. And I mean, I'm not saying go cheat on your spouse or
No, yeah.
But you
But
can
it's
just-
okay to like go to Comic-Con by yourself or to go like.
which ties back into those stigmas that
Right,
just
right.
go and you want to have those then.
Mhm. And then you'll see you like it. You break that stigma. You realize that you might miss your girl halfway through Comic-Con. Bring her with you next time.
Yep. As far as friendship goes, that's going to be case
That
by
varies.
case.
Yeah, that varies so much.
Because I have friends I could stay with every single day, but I have friends that I need to go in increments with, and I like all those people the same. It's not
Right.
that. It's just that.
Everybody's got that one friend that's just like you got to deal with in doses.
Yeah. And I think that the biggest thing that leads to that is trying to always feeling like you have to entertain someone. I hate that. That's a thing that I can't stand.
No, I feel you there.
If I have a friend or a relationship and it's a new relationship, this is why a lot of mine don't work, is because I feel like that I have to always entertain somebody, and I can't just be like, just live beside me. Just
Right?
shut the
Yeah,
fuck up
like,
and live.
That's a real modern thing too. Like I feel like almost any girl that like I've talked to and probably you've talked to is like
Or
there's
man,
no
you
just
can
like
talk to men in this world. It's
Or-
2018.
right. Yeah. We're very diverse people,
Yeah.
but I'm not that diverse.
Yeah.
But but anyway, so like I feel like there's no cohabitating. Like everything is so like
We're in the Instagram in the quick gratification era.
yeah, everybody just wants something like then and there, and then it's like nobody wants to appreciate anything or work at anything. Like so you talk to somebody, you go out, you show them a good time. And then they just always, like, there's so many expectations these days. Like, it's like, oh, so
Because
like,
if you can't fulfill, if he or she or whatever has
Yeah.
100 needs, and you can't fulfill 99, well, somebody looks better on social media. Always. Not looks. Like, they look like they can do that job better than you can.
right.
And I'm not saying, like, I have girlfriends and you have girlfriends. Like, we talk to girls and we hang out with girls. I'm not saying we're sitting here losers not getting girls. I'm not saying that. But to have a
but
long,
relationships, yeah,
a
like
long-lasting relationship,
meaningful
it's hard
relationship.
in today's time to build that trust with somebody because, like I said, in one day they can go from being everything to you to them completely
Ghosted you.
Yeah.
Like, been there. But like, that's the weird part about it is like the whole, like, just being able to just, like, change. Like, what happened to, like, building meaningful relationships? Like, yeah, there's definitely guys that, like, string people along, and women that string people along.
Oh, guys are the worst.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's a long-term relationship, but if you don't really know anything about that person or you have, like, shared stuff, like, I don't really count that. But it's like, those actual relationships that's, like, the
Right.
trust building, like, respect kind of.
And that ties back to what we're talking about with pushing, your comfort zone. Build that relationship. Don't be scared. Like, if they're going to leave, they're just going to leave. Just build it anyways. And don't, like, the way you don't get burnt out on that is if you're pushing for the relationship so hard and they're not, just, like, take a step back and be like, okay, well, this is where you are, this is where I am, then we'll respect each other and go from there. Like, if you wanted to put this much effort in, I'll put this much effort in. Respect yourself so you don't get burnt out. Now, workplace. This is my favorite one because I am in a position, I am so thankful for my job. I love my job.
Right.
I'm grateful for my job. I have a very nice job.
Right.
However, I would love to do this or something else for my
Oh, yeah.
job. Anybody would want to be creative. So, 10 hours of my day is spent literally in the corporate grind. I mean, every single second. Everything I do is monitored, everything I say. And that's so hard for me to not get burnt out. And I'll let you discuss your situation, and then we'll talk about how we push past that with being burnt out.
I feel like I talked about this really well the last time we did this. And, like,
Yeah, well, we lost that footage.
Yeah, we did,
So go ahead and say it again.
This is it. I'm trying to think of how I worded it. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes you do have to put up with stuff. Like, I've definitely had jobs in situations where I was pursuing other business opportunities, but, couldn't afford my bills just off those opportunities just yet. I had to do that those dead end jobs and the
like
that,
marketing and advertising, shooting commercials and stuff.
yeah. I mean, like regardless, like while you're building up to that, like,
no,
you
I mean that's like the freelance stuff that you're trying to make.
yeah, like so, like say you want to be a freelancer. In my case, like I was shooting commercials and videos, cinematography, things like that. Like you can't just jump into that and making enough money to pay your bills. So like getting something like that off the ground and then coming, like you're still going to have that daily job. And mine was, that might have been one of the most boring jobs I ever had. And like, like I would go to work, I would literally just lose my mind for 8 hours a day, come home, try to fit in my other, the cinematography and stuff like that. And like sometimes you do have to just push through it. Like it sucks, but knowing like
even and you're tired and you have to shoot an episode at 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, like hours of editing and things like that. But the idea of like the grind and getting burnt out on it, like, and it works kind of like the relationship. If you take a step back and you look at like a little bit of a bigger picture, like you just zoom out a little bit and be like, oh well, like my entrepreneurship side, like this idea of like starting a business is starting to come along. And if I just work here long enough to pay my bills for X amount of months, then I'll be able to take care of myself with, the things that I love.
So I want to tag on to that. So I agree with you there. So here's the deal. With me, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing everything I can to put everything else into this, and the clothing line and the brand. I know you are. So, but what you can't do is give everything you have to that job, and then just push this stuff away. Like, I'm tired. I'll do this later. I'll do this later. I'll do this. You physically have to, you
have to do both.
And it sucks, but like if you work equally as hard at this job, and I'm to the ones at the podcast, I'm pointing towards our brand.
Like
so I forget at times, but it might not even be that. It could be a CD you're working on or something. Yeah. If you put as much time in that as you do your normal job or more, like I said, we'll pay more. Not just cash, not just cash, but it'll pay you back. Like you'll love what you did more.
Right, like you definitely. Like, the using my commercial thing as an example, like, or this, like, you put in that effort and it does get tiring, makes you hate your regular job even more, especially if you find something that's, that's for you, like this. Like today I had like some business meetings and all this other stuff going on, and like even like all of that, like I was definitely tired, like I managed to fit a nap in there unintentionally.
Dude, I've been on the go for 28 hours straight.
Oh, nothing was like that too.
I'm not competing, I'm just saying that.
Like, but I was up for like 4 more hours.
No, I'm just saying that, like, it's hard to, sometimes, like
your body will let you know when too much is too much, but until then, like,
fuck it.
Your body will let you know. It's the best way to look at it.
I just say fuck it. Just go.
I mean, there's times that you just wake up and you're like, what happened?
Fuck it.
It's a good night.
Go. Put a recorder on. A recorder, however much.
Put a recorder on.
Get that VHS thing.
Get that tape deck over there.
So, alright, so I'll tell you how I deal with being burnt out, and then you can tell me yours, and we'll wrap this shit up.
I already explained, like, the whole taking a step back and, like, looking at the bigger picture.
Well, I was going to recap. So, mine is literally, I'm just, like, hyper-aggressive. So, when I start feeling like I'm getting trapped at a certain place in my life with my job or something, I will literally just go to what I want to do creatively and push as hard as I possibly can to completely just wipe out my memory of why I'm down with this other thing.
Right, like it's like a release. Like this is
like if I feel
this
like
is your haven right now.
Right,
so
like if I'm working like 10 hours, then I come home like I got to shoot an episode or we got to work on something. Then I'll get like hyped up and then I'll work on 50 things. And then I mean that might not be everybody's approach.
Right.
See, yours is this is perfect if you look at it. Yours is to take a step back and breathe. Mine is to fucking dive in and bust everything open. And that's a perfect way. That's kind of our personalities if you think about it towards a lot of things. So if you're going to get burnt out, either step back or dive the fuck in. We don't really have a definite answer, but
I mean,
find what works
everybody's
for you.
different in all the cases. Like, some things are going to be handled different than others, but yeah, find what works for you because apparently
that's perfect.
Right? I mean, that's 2 good ways to look at it.
So, guys.
So, was that the whole
Coming
episode?
up. Yeah, this is the first episode. If you guys listen, we really do appreciate it, honestly. If it's one person or a million, thank you guys, all of you.
Definitely appreciate it. Again,
there'll be 2 to 3 a week coming out after the first launch week.
Right, like so our schedule at first we're going to try to come out a little hard and heavy. Like there's going to be a daily episode for the first week, for first 7 days. So day 1, you'll see all the content. Following that, a week of episodes straight, which is going to make my life pretty rough. I just got to edit like a billion things in an hour each. That's only like, it's only like 20 hours.
Well, hold on everybody, let's just let him cry for
let me cry for a bit. But nah, so after the first week of episodes, then the plan is 2 a week, and the second episode each week will be different. Like sometimes we'll have interviews, sometimes we'll have it'll be like a wild card, And then you'll get our regular content like this at least once a week, no matter what.
Sometimes we might do 3 or 4.
Yeah, we might even throw in extra episodes, but at the moment, 2 episodes a week.
You're going to have plenty of content if you like us.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
And
so,
we'll be there to spread the vibes, but also you tell us what we need to help with.
Definitely looking forward
We're
to
here
feedback.
for that.
And we'll let you guys know about the shirts, the hats, the polos, all
We'll
that
also
good stuff.
discuss in the next episode all the Instagrams, how to get there, or the Instagram, the social media sites, Facebooks, all that. So
Right.
we'll be
So
talking about
to
that.
recap, that's Casey at JSC Priest.
JSC Priest is my Instagram, yes.
Yeah, and I'm Christian at the Christian Spalding. So look for us on there. We'll also have a like we just said, the Dominica's Instagram and all that.
So again, we're out here just trying to spread positive vibes, live the best you can, but also don't be a bitch, So we're doing it.
Just live life.
Just live life, and if you need anything, just let us know.
If you need
seriously,
anything, let us know.
on social media, even
Right.
if you just want to talk, just hit us up.
Right,
We'll
yeah,
talk.
for real. We need a tagline to leave on. We'll get there. Not yet, but we'll get there.
Don't be a little bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Take it easy, guys.
Applause.